Okay, so welcome to the Death of Me, chapter 13. Funny story before we begin this. I got my phone taken away a couple minutes ago because I was filming the videos. But that's great. It's 11:17, so let's do this thing. So, social ostracism has been seen in nation, tribes, and religious sects for those who have transgressed against the norm. Specifically, the Amish have something called Meidung, which is basically if you go against something they do, you will be shunned. Like, they just don't give you the silent treatment. Sorry. And they, Luna, like, they'll give you the silent treatment, and they just, like, they won't talk to you or acknowledge you. I'm so sorry. This has been seen with employees and coworkers when they shun whistleblowers, which are like basically people who like tattletale. This is seen with angry spouses used against one another. Children use it as a form of peer rejection, and even animals have been known to ostracize one another. Social ostracism is effective, however, it possesses harmful reactions for those who use it to manipulate others. To avoid exclusion, people have been known to conform, obey, comply, and inhibit their social behaviors. Failure to conform has been linked to social ostracism and exclusion from a group. Two female Confederates reported feeling alone, withdrawn, shy, dull, frustrated, anxious, nervous, and bored than did females not ignored. So they felt all of those more than regular females who weren't ostracized. The belief that they are good and worthy people was a threat when ostracizing other people. It was a threat as a result to social ostracism, along with the sense of belonging, meaningful existence, and sense of control. The belief that you are good and worthy is also linked to self-esteem. Social ostracism is basically like the silent treatment, but physical ostracism is physically like separating yourself from someone. Social ostracism is what I focus on, if it wasn't already clear from the last two videos. And my triangle, which is just like I said before, like removing yourself. It's basically the silent treatment. The motives are not ostracism, where it's like it's just not ostracism. Role prescribed, which, like I said before, was like in an elevator or in a line to go pay for something. You know, you typically you don't talk to people that you don't know. You don't talk to strangers, and it's not like ostracizing someone on purpose to manipulate them. It's more like ostracizing someone because of social norms kind of thing. There's punitive, which is like punishing someone, and then there's defensive, which is just using social ostracism as a way to defend yourself, kind of, so like you're not hurt. And then oblivious ostracism is basically when the other person or the target doesn't know they're being ostracized, but they are. There are quantities of ostracism, so you can ostracize someone just a little bit, so it's like you don't text them or anything, but you do talk to them face to face if you see them. And then there's complete ostracism, which is avoid eye contact, don't text them, block them everywhere, sort of thing. And then there's casual clarity, which is basically when both of you know the reason you're being ostracized. I'm doing this hidden from my parents, so like I really hope they don't like walk in or anything like that, because this is going to be really hard to explain. And then there's casual unclear, ostracism, which is basically when the target doesn't know why they're being ostracized, which is even more harmful than just ostracism itself, because I think it was the I forgot it, and it was in the last article. Basically, what it meant was that one of the first steps to coping was understanding why what happened to you. And when it's casually unclear ostracism, the target takes longer to cope with the ostracism due to the fact that they don't know why it happened to them. Ostracized individuals will make up for their lost sense of belonging by putting in more effort, because I never said the title of the article, did I? Yeah. Hold on, let me look for it because I don't even remember it. It's social ostracism by coworkers. Does rejection lead to loafing and compensation? Sorry. So basically, the hypothesis was that ostracized individuals will make up for their lost sense of belonging by putting in more effort, or they will reject those who rejected them. So there was 228 participants after the cutbacks. So like people who couldn't speak English, I think somebody did that. Like there was participants that couldn't speak English, so obviously they couldn't be used. After all of that, there was 96 males and 81 females. So there was a total of 177 participants. It's still a lot, but not as much as 228, which was the initial amount. So one participant and two Confederates did an activity called brainstorming. And then in the first phase, they were sat in a triangle. Basically, it would be like the two Confederates. The triangle would look kind of like this, like our triangle, like a cone. So the two Confederates would be on the long side, and then the participant would be on the point. So it would be like, in a way, the participant was being physically ostracized as well. And they were just doing a variety of activities, like bouncing balls, stuff like that. So males worked about the same coactively and collectively, while females worked harder collectively than coactively. Males were more likely to commit social loafing, meaning that once they felt they were being socially ostracized, they would begin to let the correspondents, the Confederates is what they're called, do all the work. Meanwhile, the point, didn't do anything. While females tended to socially compensate in a group setting, so they would put in more effort in order to keep their sense of belonging and make up for their lost sense of belonging. Males tended to attribute ostracism to their own disinterest. So, for example, with the ball thing, it would be like, oh, she didn't give me the ball because I didn't seem like I wanted to catch the ball. So it was like there was an increased feeling of guilt by the victim. And ostracized males were more likely than any other group to manipulate others in their environment, to manipulate other objects in their environment, kind of like as a I can do it too, I guess, kind of thing. So yeah.